Welcome back to the wrap-up session of Rackspace Solve Dallas. Here once again is your MC for the day, Ian Urquhart.
All right. Welcome back. This is our final session, and we're just about off to drink motivational beverages together. We still have some standing room only, although this time we're not quite as full. So come on up if you'd like and have a seat. We do hope that you had a really good day today at Rackspace Solve Dallas. It was our intention to really share with you a number of the things that are going on with our customers, partners, and just together how we can work together to solve the business challenges and opportunities that you face with technology and with the managed cloud. To close, we have a great speaker this afternoon. He is the SVP of the Americas for Rackspace, and I'll just introduce him and we'll get going. Odus Wittenburg.
So Ian promised me that he was saving the best for last, so we'll see. You guys can be the judge of that. So I'll start with a question. How many of you guys and gals have kids in sports or played sports when you were a kid yourself? Okay, we can pretty much all understand this. So I have 3 children. I have a 17-year-old boy who plays high school football, of course, because we live in Texas. I have a 14-year-old daughter that plays basketball and volleyball and runs track. And I really had no problem teaching them kind of how to play soccer, how to play football, how to play not so much volleyball, but I sort of get it. But I was able to teach them how to throw, kick, catch, the rules of the game for the most part, no problem. My 8-year-old, however, wants to play this sport called lacrosse. How many of you guys in here play lacrosse? Okay, a couple, but not very many. It's a pretty interesting sport. So basically, for the untrained eye, they run around in the field carrying a stick with a little basket on the end, throwing a small, hard ball at each other, and they literally beat the crap out of each other when they're trying to score a goal. And if you don't know what you're watching, you know, the guys behind the goal, you think they'd be out of bounds, but they're not. Then they literally chase the ball as fast as they can when it's going out of bounds because they get to throw the ball in, okay? So I was totally out of my realm of capability in teaching my 8-year-old how to play lacrosse. You know, so what did I do? I hired a coach. I hired a UT student. I live in Austin, who had played lacrosse in high school, and he basically spent a lot of time with my kid over a couple of months and taught him how to play lacrosse. It was good for me. It was also good for my kid. I don't know if you have children, but my kids think I'm not that smart. They actually think I'm pretty dumb. And so my 8-year-old, for example, will take the advice of a college student over anything I tell him. It was also good for me because I learned a lot about the rules of lacrosse. So the point really is that life is better with a coach of all kinds, whether it's a golf coach, a tennis coach, an executive coach. Many of you in here might have had an executive coach. A marriage coach always comes in handy, but life is better with a coach. So we are headquartered in San Antonio, so Pop is obviously near and dear to us. You know, he builds great teams. He builds teams of stars, but no individual person taking the spotlight. He's truly a great coach. This one probably resonates more with this crowd. If any of you are Dallas natives, Tom Landry, one of the best NFL coaches of all time. But the point is, you know, coaches build great playbooks. They build great teams, and life is better with the coach. Why is that important? You know, over today, you've heard a lot about the changing landscape, about how fast things are moving. Because fast, you know, is really becoming faster. The competition is heating up at ever increasing rates. And really, one of the things we talk about at Rackspace and why we think we're a great partner for people like you is that we would encourage you, to spend your incremental dollar on building features that matter for your customers. Not necessarily managing the infrastructure that powers your applications, but hire a developer that can go build a feature or function that will make your application different. That's how you differentiate. That's how you create competitive advantage. The world's also becoming complex. You heard a lot about the tool sets that the cloud's enabling. Lots of tool sets. Every day there's a new tool set, a new database. Many of these things are great. Every application doesn't work the same way. So different tool sets need to be used, but it's very, very complex. You heard a lot today from VMware. So Corey did a presentation on his technology stack. There are others. There's the OpenStack-based technology stack, the VMware-based technology stack, the Microsoft-based technology stack. Amazon has their own proprietary-based technology stack. So it's complicated. In many cases, you want to mix and match, and you want to use the best infrastructure for your workload. In addition, the world's a dangerous place. It's a very dangerous place. It's unfortunate. But if you heard the security talk by Aaron, he talked about it's not about when you're going to get attacked, but how you respond to it, and that's it's very important. So in this, literally right now, somewhere on this planet, there are very smart people sitting in a room trying to break into your systems. Happens all the time. Trying to do it to ours too. The difference that The difference that we sort of bring to the table is this notion of economies of expertise. We manage security for thousands of customers. And if you heard Aaron talk about that, you'll understand why that's important, because the world is a very, very dangerous place. So, I mentioned coaches write great playbooks, and that's really what makes a difference. So one of our customers, Michael Johnstone from the Mark Cuban Companies, talks about how Rackspace, his team at Rackspace, his extended team, and his team literally collaborate together to write playbooks to manage massive traffic spikes that happen as a result of Shark Tank. So I want you here to listen to a little clip from him.
The nature of my business is that every company is new. Everyone has different implementation. They have different software. They have different plugins. Some of them have sliders, some of them don't. Some of them are on WordPress, or some of them are on Magento. Some of them have their own solution that they've built. But every time, it's completely new. What I've ended up with, I think a playbook is the best analogy. For me, it's like if this, then that for high traffic events. If you're on shared hosting, then we've got to move to cloud servers or better infrastructure. Shared hosting is just not going to cut it.
DialSource is another Rackspace company. These guys have become the leading telephony application on Salesforce. And again, listen.
Rackspace, I would say, is the lowest cost solution. And I say that not just from a pure dollar perspective. I say that because we spent several years fighting fires as the demand and scale for DialSource wasn't working well. And so by working closely with Rackspace and going to the top of the market, we were able, again, to focus up on the engineering and focus up on the software and then provide the results. And once we tackled that hurdle, then we were able to just continue to get one result after the other, whether it be Wall Street, whether it be a lot of names in technology, whether it be professional sports. And so I definitely recommend Rackspace. I can't recommend Rackspace enough. We definitely would not be where we are today if we did not have the strategic partnership with Rackspace.
Okay, so you've heard this phrase a lot today, who's going to manage your cloud? Todd Cione started the day talking about we see the world splitting into two spaces, the managed cloud and the unmanaged cloud. The do-it-yourself cloud, many of you guys are do-it-yourself people. You build stuff on the weekends, go to Home Depot. That is certainly one way to do it. We advocate a different approach, or a combined approach, which is really a managed services approach. So you've heard a lot about how companies do that today. Some of them were filled, I agree, with a little bit of a Rackspace commercial, but you've heard some pretty exciting stories from these folks. So, Yeti, imagine working in a company that's growing from 150 million in 1 year to 350 the next. That's pretty intense. That's probably a lot of fun, but probably quite crazy. Proxibid, again, another company on the cusp of exploding now with their eBay partnership. So as they go build their business, the partnership with Rackspace is an important one because we can actually divide and conquer. Meter feeder, a really interesting concept where they're literally working on both sides of the meter chain, both the consumer and the government. Very powerful and very exciting. And you heard from Corey at VMware. So VMware is a huge Rackspace partner. He almost mentioned it, not quite, but Rackspace is the largest VMware service provider globally. We manage over 50,000 VMs, so we have a lot of experience in that. And as they expand their platform, we'll grow with them. I think it's so very important. Hopefully you had a chance to visit the Solutions Pavilion. This is really, I think, symbolic of our company. So we think about the managed cloud as a combination of technology and expertise, products and services, and humans. So one thing you get with Rackspace is you actually get humans that care about your business. Our customers actually explain that as, we care about their businesses as if they were our own. So you heard the gentleman from Proxibid talk about things will go wrong. They will go wrong. There'll be unanticipated consequences. You will miss a planning session or something. The question is, how do you respond to that? And that's really where the human touch, the human factor at Rackspace comes into play. And you probably felt some of that at the Solutions Pavilion, as well as a lot of expertise. Again, I think we've thanked these guys a few times, but I want to thank the sponsors. We appreciate their sponsorship. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. So hopefully you've been able to talk to them. Many of them are also out of the solutions area about their solutions and how they fit into sort of your business need and the managed cloud world. And then finally, thank you for making our first Dallas Solve a success. Like Ian said, we hope you learned something. Hopefully you learned something from each other, from the partners, from the Rackers that are presenting. And now we can move on to what you've all been waiting for, is the reception, which is happening on level 5. So take the big glass elevator to the reception. Thanks for coming. And feel free to keep asking us questions throughout the evening. Thank you.
Oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said